You're listening to Inside Insight, the podcast that dives into the latest innovations and strategies in manufacturing, distribution, and Dynamics 365 Business Central. Brought to you by InsightWorks, this show features our hosts, Ryan and Emma, as they bring you expert conversations, industry insights, and practical advice to help you stay ahead in this constantly evolving world.
All right, so today we're diving into something that I think a lot of people can actually use.
Yeah.
We're talking about Graphical Scheduler
Okay.
for Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've actually had the chance to play around with it a bit myself, and it's pretty cool.
Now, for folks who are not familiar with Graphical Scheduler, what is it and what's so cool about it?
So basically, Graphical Scheduler is this free app.
Okay, free.
Yeah, that you can get for Business Central, and it helps you manage your production schedule.
Gotcha.
And what's really neat about it is, well, you know how sometimes you get those free apps and they're kind of like,
Yeah.
this is actually surprisingly powerful.
Really?
Yeah, it's got features that you'd normally find in those paid solutions, like the really expensive ones.
So it's like a hidden gem, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. A hidden gem in the app source world.
I like that.
Like it's leveling the playing field for those businesses who are using Business Central,
Yeah, that's awesome, especially for smaller businesses who maybe don't have that huge budget to spend on some fancy software. So that's really cool. Okay, so I was looking at this, and the thing that really stood out to me is this drag and drop scheduling.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because it's not just, like a list of tasks or something.
Right.
It seems like you can actually visualize the entire workflow.
Absolutely.
Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, you got it. Imagine your production schedule is like a giant puzzle board. Right.
Okay.
Graphical Scheduler basically lets you move those puzzle pieces around. You can see everything laid out visually.
Wow.
And make changes in real time. Like say a supplier calls you and says, hey, there's going to be a delay.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Right. Instead of panicking and digging through spreadsheets.
Scrambling.
Yeah. You just go into Graphical Scheduler, rearrange things, see how those changes impact everything else immediately. And, keep production rolling smoothly.
So much better than, trying to make sense of a jumbled spreadsheet, for sure.
Absolutely.
I know I would much rather prefer that visual approach.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Okay, so in addition to that, one of the sources also mentioned instant access to details.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of details are we talking about here?
So think about things like production order numbers, routing details, basically all that critical information that you need to make those smart decisions, right?
Yeah.
And it's all just a click away.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to go hunting through multiple screens or reports.
Right.
It's all right there in front of you.
Okay, so it sounds like that would save a ton of time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Reduce errors, and probably just make everyone's lives a little bit less stressful, right?
Definitely. A lot less headaches for everyone involved.
Now, there was also something about, I think it was called Operation Highlighting.
Ah, yes, Operation Highlighting.
What's that all about?
So this is a really cool feature where you can see all the related tasks for a specific operation, and they're all linked together visually, right?
Okay.
So let's say you're trying to identify a bottleneck in your production process. Instead of it being this, hidden thing that you have to dig around for.
Yeah.
Operation Highlighting just makes it super obvious where that slowdown is happening so you can address it right away.
Okay, so it's kind of like bringing those potential problems to the forefront so you don't have to dig for them.
It's all about visibility.
Gotcha.
Transparency.
Okay. So who would you say benefits the most from using Graphical Scheduler? I imagine it's probably useful for a bunch of different roles within a company, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, production managers, they're going to love it.
Yeah.
They get that, bird's eye view of the entire schedule so they can make those high-level adjustments, right?
Yeah.
But then you also have your operations supervisors. They can really zoom in on their specific area, make real-time tweaks to keep things running smoothly within their own responsibilities. And then you've got your supply chain managers.
Right.
They can use Graphical Scheduler to make sure that production is aligned with their inventory levels and their broader supply chain strategy.
Okay, so even though it's one tool, it's really serving all these different people
Exactly.
in their own unique ways.
Yeah, it's very adaptable in that way.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So obviously you can't beat free, but how does Graphical Scheduler stack up against some of those other scheduling solutions out there?
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Not only is it free, but it's also fully integrated with Business Central.
Right.
So you don't need to go out and buy separate software, deal with all those, tricky integrations, worry about compatibility issues.
Yeah.
It just works seamlessly within the system you're already using.
So you're potentially saving money on top of the free price tag, which is always a good thing.
Always a bonus. Right.
Always a bonus.
Yeah.
Now, I'm noticing this recurring theme here of the visual approach to scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, is it just about making scheduling easier?
That's a great question.
Or is there something more to it?
I think it goes beyond just making things easier. Think about how that visual shared understanding can really improve team collaboration.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's literally on the same page, seeing the same schedule. They can move things around together. It becomes much more interactive.
Right. So it's not just you in your own little silo trying to figure things out. You've got the whole team involved.
Yeah, it opens up communication, you know, breaks down those silos.
Yeah.
And I think that can lead to some serious efficiency boosts.
That's a really great point. I hadn't even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
It's not just about the software itself. It's really about how it changes the way that people work together.
Absolutely.
Definitely something to consider. So to wrap things up, it sounds like Graphical Scheduler is a pretty solid win.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Especially for those businesses that are already invested in the Business Central ecosystem.
For sure. It simplifies that complex scheduling, gives you those real-time insights, and it does it all for free within a system you already use.
Yeah.
Like you said, what's not to like?
Well said. Thanks for breaking it all down for us. And for everyone listening, if you're looking for a way to streamline your production processes, definitely check out Graphical Scheduler. You might just find it's the tool you need to take your operations to that next level.
Absolutely.